Let me ask you something. How many times have you sat down to look at UAE teaching jobs and you saw British curriculum schools, American curriculum schools, IB schools, Indian schools, and you thought, which one is for me? Or which one should I apply? Maybe you just applied to all of them. Same CV, same cover letter, same everywhere, and you heard nothing back. And this is not a bad luck. This is a strategy problem. Because here is what nobody tells you. Your background already tells you which curriculum to target. Your qualification, your classroom experience, your teaching style, all of it is already pointing you somewhere specific. The problem is nobody has actually laid this out clearly for you until today. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through every major curriculum in the UAE. British, American, IB, MOE and Indian curriculum. I will tell you who each one is built for, what schools expect, what the salaries actually look like, and most importantly, whether it is the right fit for you. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where to focus your energy. No more scattering application everywhere. No more wondering why you're not getting responses. Let's dive in. There are 5 major curriculum types in UAE private schools: British, American, IB, Indian and MOE. For each one, I'm going to tell you 3 things. Who it is built for, what schools actually expect from you inside the classroom, and the real salary range, not a vague estimate, actual numbers. And at the end, I'm going to give you a simple 4-step framework to help you decide where to focus your application. Before I go into the first curriculum, I want to make one thing very clear. This is not about which curriculum is best. It is about which curriculum is best for you. That distinction matters. Because the teacher who chooses the right fit and applies with focus will always outperform the teacher who applies everywhere without direction. Let's start with the biggest market. Let's start with the British curriculum. And the first thing you need to know, this is the largest market in the UAE. Around 40% of private schools here follow the British system. National curriculum, IGCSE, A-level. Dubai alone has dozens of British curriculum schools. And Abu Dhabi also has a strong cluster as well. It is also the most competitive market for international applicants. So who actually gets hired here? So if you have PGCE, QTS or a B.Ed from a UK institution, this is your primary market. British schools here have a strong presence for UK trained teachers. Okay, they really prefer the teachers who have trained from PGCE, QTS, or they had a bachelor from the UK institution. But if you are from South Africa or Australia, New Zealand or parts of Canada and you have taught the British curriculum, you are also a strong fit. Now, what if you have a B.Ed teaching qualification but not specifically from UK? You can still be very competitive, but you need to show clearly that you understand how the British system works, not just in your CV, in your interview answer too. What British school actually expect? British schools in the UAE operate to offset style standards. That word outstanding matters here. Schools talk about outstanding teaching, outstanding lessons, outstanding outcomes. So if you're applying to KHDA rated school in Dubai, they take those ratings very seriously. They expect you to know your key stages, KS1, KS2, KS3, KS4, KS5, and what students are expected to know at each level. They want to see lesson observation, learning walks, data tracking, the full UK style professional picture. And here is something important I want you to understand about British curriculum schools in UAE. They are often more demanding than schools back in the UK. Why? Because parents are paying between 50 to 80,000 dirham per year in a school fees. Those parents have high expectations and schools need teachers who can deliver against that bar consistently. Entry level, 0 to 2 years of experience, you are looking at roughly 9,000 to 11,000 dirham basic salary per month, plus housing allowance, which can add another 3,000 to 5,000 dirham depending on to the school. 3 to 5 years of experience, 12 to 16,000 of dirhams. More than 5 years, or if you're applying for a head of department or a leadership role, then you can expect 16 to 20,000 dirhams and above. Premium outstanding rated school can go higher than this, but those are also the most selective and they're very choosy. Ask yourself honestly, have I taught British curriculum, not just studied, but actually taught in a classroom? Am I comfortable being observed and discuss outstanding teaching standards? Do I know the national curriculum well enough to talk about confidently in an interview? If 2 or more yes answers, British schools should be your primary focus. 70 to 80% of your application should go here. If you answered no to all the 3, then you can still apply, but you are fighting uphill. You may be better served focusing on a different curriculum, first building UAE experience, and then you can transition later. Let's look at the second major market, the American curriculum. American curriculum schools, There are over 90 American curriculum schools in the UAE. They follow US state standards, Common Core, and many offer AP advanced placement courses at their senior levels. So if you are from US or Canada and you hold a state teaching license, this is your natural market. American schools here regard that state license as the gold standard. It opens doors very quickly. But here is what a lot of people do not realize. Nationality is not the deciding factor. Curriculum experience is. I have seen teachers from the Philippines, India, and Egypt hired into an American curriculum schools in the UAE. Because they had spent years teaching the American system, their CV showed it and their interview language reflected, and they got the offer. So if you have American curriculum experience, regardless of where you are from, these schools are worth targeting. American schools in the UAE are technologically forward environments. Google Classroom, Seesaw for younger students, Canvas at high school level. So if you are not comfortable navigating these platforms, you will struggle in interviews and in the classroom. They are also deep data driven, continuous assessment, homework tracking, quiz data, project-based assessment, rubrics. Parent communication is a significant part of the role. So American schools here expect proactive, regular contact with the parents. And one more thing that might surprise you, American schools here love teachers who go beyond the classroom. Coaching sports, running the clubs, organizing events. So if you are someone who genuinely enjoys this side of the school life, American curriculum schools will value you more. If you prefer strictly classroom-based work, that is worth knowing before you target this sector. Entry level with a US state license, 10,000 to 13,000 dirham per month. 3 to 6 years of experience, you can expect 14 to 18,000 dirham. More experienced teachers or those teaching AP courses, they can expect 18 to 25,000 dirhams. American curriculum schools tends to pay slightly better than the British schools at equivalent experience levels, right? So particularly if you are teaching a shortage subject at a secondary level, which is the AP, right? If you have US or Canadian credentials, yes, prioritize this one. If you have taught the American curriculum internationally, yes, this is worth targeting. If you are coming from a completely different system and have no American curriculum experience, honestly, your energy is better spent elsewhere, right? Now let's talk about the curriculum that often gets the most questions, and for good reasons. IB, International Baccalaureate. This is the premium curriculum in the UAE. Higher salaries, better resource schools, a different kind of professional environment, and yes, a lot of teachers have it as their target. There are around 55 to 65 IB World Schools in UAE. They cover the main programs PYP at a primary level, MYP at a middle school, and DP diploma program at a senior level. And here is something that matters. There is a genuine shortage of IB trained teachers globally, which means if you are an IB trained and you have relevant experience, UAE schools will come to you, not the other way around. If you have IB workshop training, category 1, category 2 or category 3, you are in a strong position. IB schools actively seek teachers who already understand the framework. You do not have to go through the learning curve on their time, right? So if you do not have IB training, can you still apply? Yes. Particularly if you have a strong inquiry-based student-centered teaching experience. Some school will consider you, especially the PYP level where inquiry is embedded in everything. But let me give you an honest piece of advice here. If you are serious about teaching in the UAE long-term, invest in IB training. It costs between $1,500 to $3,000 for the core workshop. The salary increases you get from the IB trained will pay back within 6 months. IB is not content delivery. If you are a teacher who lectures, who leads from the front, who is most comfortable transmitting information to students, IB is going to challenge that. IB schools want facilitators, not just teachers. They want to see students asking the questions, not just answering them. They want reflection, metacognition, interdisciplinary thinking. They also require a significant level of documentation. So unit planners written to the IB format, reflection journals, assessment rubrics aligned to the IB criteria. So IB has a very specific structure. You need to be comfortable with that before you walk into an interview. School will ask you about the learner profile. They will ask you about the ATL, approaches to teaching and learning. They will ask you about the embedded inquiry into your lessons. So if those terms are unfamiliar, that tells them something. IB trained from 0 to 3 years of experience, 12 to 15,000 dirham per month. 4 to 7 years of experience, you can expect 16 to 22,000 dirham. More experience or moving into the coordinator roles, 22,000 to 35,000 dirham and above. This is typically 20 to 30% higher than equivalent non-IB schools at every experience level. If you are an IB trained and have strong inquiry-based experience, go for it. This is where you want to be. If you do not have IB training right now, either invest in getting trained or start in British or American schools. Build your UAE profile and then transition into the IB later. Both paths work. The second path just takes a little longer. Now let's talk about the curriculum that is actually the most common entry point for international teachers coming to the UAE. Indian curriculum schools. There are over 100 CBSE and ICSE schools in the UAE, and the reason for that is straightforward. There are approximately 3.5 million Indians living in the UAE. That is the largest single expat community in the country. These schools exist because that community exists, and they are not going anywhere. If you train in India, hold a B.Ed and have a CBSE or ICSE classroom experience, this is your most direct entry routes into the UAE teaching market. And I want to say something clearly, there is nothing lesser about starting in an Indian curriculum school. I have seen teachers begin in Indian curriculum schools, build 2 to 3 years of experience, and then successfully train to British or American schools at a significantly higher salary. I am the example for that. The UAE experience on your CV changes how you are perceived in the market. It tells schools you already know how to operate here. You understand the parents, the regulation, the cultural context. That has real value. Indian curriculum schools in the UAE expect you to be strong on subject knowledge and board exam delivery. CBSE Class 10 and Class 12 board preparation is a core part of what parents are paying for. Class size can be large. You can expect 30 to 35, right? Sometimes 40. Strong classroom management is essential, and parent communication matters enormously. Indian parents in the UAE are highly engaged. They are often professionals who have high expectation for their children's academic outcomes. Schools need teachers who can build trust and maintain it. Entry level, 4 to 6,000 dirham per month. I want to address this directly because I know that number looks very different next to the British and IB figures, but here is the full picture. Most Indian curriculum schools provide accommodation or a housing allowance. Your living costs in the UAE are significantly lower when housing is covered. I know teachers who were saving 40 to 50% of their salary on a 6,000 dirham a month in a tax-free dirham compared to what they were earning when they were saving in India, right? So the difference is actually significant. 3 to 7 years of experience, 6 to 10,000 dirham. Senior or coordinator level, you can expect 10 to 14,000 dirham. If you are an Indian trained and looking to enter the UAE market, yes, this is exactly where you should start. Get 2 to 3 years of experience, then decide whether you want to stay in this sector or move to a different curriculum. But both are valid options, right? But you have to be in the UAE first to make that choice. Now, a brief word on MOE. MOE schools follow the UAE national curriculum instruction, which is in Arabic. The student population is primarily Emirati. So if you are not fluent in Arabic, MOE schools are not a realistic choice for you. These schools hire predominantly Emirati or Arab expat teachers. Do not spend energy applying here if Arabic is not your language. Focus that energy on the sectors where you are a genuine fit. Okay, you have heard about all 5 curricula. Now, how do you actually decide? Here is a 4-step framework I use when I am coaching teachers through this. First, look at your teaching qualification. Where did you get it? What systems did you train in? UK qualification or PGC, British schools are your primary market. US state teaching license, American schools first. IB workshop training, IB schools are your natural home. Indian B.Ed with CBSE and ICSE experience, Indian curriculum schools are your entry point. Start here. This is your baseline. Second, a qualification is one thing, but which curriculum have you actually taught? Because UAE schools do not just want someone who knows the system in theory. They want someone who has lived it. So if you have taught British curriculum for the 5 years, the British schools should be 70 to 80% of your application. If you have taught across multiple curriculum, prioritize the one you have the most depth in. What are you actually trying to achieve and in what time frame? If you want to maximize salary, IB or American schools are where the ceiling is the highest. If you want to get into the UAE as quickly as possible, Indian curriculum schools or schools in Sharjah and Ajman offer the faster entry with a less competition. If you value structure, strong professional development, a clear performance framework, British curriculum schools tends to offer that. Know what you want and then let that guide your decision. Here is the single biggest application mistake I see. Teachers split their application across every curriculum type and then wonder why nothing lands. Because when you try to speak to everyone, you end up connecting with no one. Pick your primary curriculum, apply 70 to 82% there, choose one secondary option if needed, apply the remaining 20-30% there. That focus lets you tailor your CV, your language, your examples. It makes your application stronger, and stronger applications get interviews. So let's bring it together. British curriculum, if you are a UK trained, right? Commonwealth trained or have a British curriculum experience, largest market, competitive, high standards. American curriculum, if you have a US or a Canadian credentials or you have a genuinely taught the American system, tech-forward, data-driven, co-curricular culture. IB, if you are a trained or willing to invest training, premium salaries, of course, inquiry-based environment, worth the investment if you are serious about UAE program. And the last one, Indian curriculum, if you are an Indian trained and want the most direct entry into the UAE market, real savings, real UAE experience, and a genuine stepping stone. This is as simple as that. Now, the next video you should watch after this one is the one on the hiring season and the attestation, where I will tell you what attestation is, the attestation process, step by step, broken down by country, the complete document checklist. I'm going to tell you which month you should apply as per the curriculum, because applying in the wrong month genuinely costs you opportunities, and a realistic end-to-end timeline from job search to the first day in the UAE curriculum. That will be all for today. The link is in the description. Thank you so much.